Hi, it's Robin. So last weekend I was able to go watch Primate, that new horror movie about basically a chimpanzee that goes a little crazy. And I wanted to make a video about it because it was kind of interesting. Um, it it wasn't good, but it was refreshing. I don't know what it was about it exactly, so I just kind of wanted to think through it, I guess. I don't know if it was maybe just the type of horror it was. I feel like things recently have been not even absurd, but they just have had a style. So stuff like Smile 2 or Weapons, anything kind of that has come out recently has definitely had a style to it. And but I felt like Primate was something, it felt a little nostalgic in a way. Very much like a Scream or a slasher or, typical animal horror, but with a chimpanzee. So that was really interesting to me. Yeah, I guess I really like the trope of, you know, who's gonna survive, like that type of thriller. And Alien Romulus had the same vibe, but it of course, because the Alien movies do have like, oh, that last girl character trope, but this one, it didn't have the same, it just didn't have that same stylistic like choices that modern movies have. It felt very much like something I would have watched as a kid that was dumb and on TV, but was like also really fun. And the movie was really fun to me. In terms of the style, it felt very film student-y. As someone who makes short films that are very film student-y, it felt like a film student made it. So in terms of like, it just felt like a lot of the shots were like, oh my god, like let's get a really like low depth of field or shallow depth of field, like with nice LED lighting. Like it was very much like, hey, let's just get the shot because it's a cool shot, and not necessarily like, and it wasn't even really a style, just like these shots just look nice. Some drone shots, I can't really describe it, but when I say student film vibes, I guess I just mean it didn't feel established, like the style didn't feel established in the way that something like an Ari Aster or a Yorgos or a movie like that, where not Paul Thomas Anderson, a Wes Anderson movie where like they have their style and they're very particular about things. This one felt more like this shot is cool, so like let's get this shot and it looks pretty, and like the shots did look pretty, but it was kind of like it just didn't have it. There was something missing that made it feel less established, less mature, but not in a bad way. I think it actually kind of added to the fun vibes of it. There's a lot of blue lighting. There's some scenes where it just feels very like coming of age. There's no dialogue that's really important happening, but you just feel like the YouTube vlogger sunny vibes, because I guess it's like it's a summer film. Not in the summer, but it's set in the summer. And so that was just interesting. That's why I guess it felt younger, felt less mature. But yeah, like I said, it really added to the fun of it, the nostalgia. It felt like it was kind of targeted to my age group, which was nice. I also really love the special effects on the chimpanzee itself. Like the entire movie, I was so fascinated because I couldn't tell if it was like a mixture of CGI or prosthetics, or like if it was a real human just in a costume with CGI to like make it look better. It was pretty good, and it wasn't really immersion breaking like a lot of like the chimp in Nope, or even like what's his name, Crypto in Superman, where you can tell the animal is CGI. It really helped with the immersion and kind of feeling scared when he would start killing people, because it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm watching this like crappy CGI chimp kill someone that like looked pretty real. And so that was cool too. I will say that the dialogue was not good. There's this one part where the girl literally just screams like, "It's my brother," and I'm like, no, literally nobody would say that, but thank you for telling the audience that that's her brother. but I mean, I had to, my dog came in and interrupted me. But basically I was saying, what was I saying? And she's back in the room. Of course, like all movies of this kind of horror genre, it felt like, sorry if you hear that, it's my dog. It felt like if you, like so many things before that could have stopped the entire movie from happening. Like, first of all, why do you not have a rabies shot for your chimp? Like, I have to get my dog a rabies shot at least every year or 3 years depending on the shot. So it's like you have a literal animal that's stronger and almost as smart as you, and it doesn't have a rabies shot. Crazy. But I guess they tried to explain it off that like rabies doesn't exist in Hawaii. But even then, like, why don't you have tranquilizers? Like, you have a whistle. Like, chimps have literally ripped people's faces off, and all you have is a whistle to stop it. That was a bit silly, but of course, all movies like that, you kind of have to, you know, give them grace, because otherwise there wouldn't be a movie, I guess. And yeah, I think even one character, I guess, kind of she kind of brought that up, and she was like, does anyone have a gun? Because like the chimp is literally trying to kill us. But you know, I thought the deaths were really interesting. They were extremely gory. I had my eyes closed for most of the time, but I think for being in one location, it was really creative, I think, in terms of still keeping that thriller momentum. I wasn't really expecting them to set up the issue as they did, because I guess something like Jurassic Park, you're like in a whole park, or in a slasher, like a whole city, but this one was just in one house with a chimp. And I thought that was really cool in terms of maximizing the budget, but then also getting creative the ways that you use that set. So that was really cool. There were times that, of course, things had to go wrong in order to progress the plot, but I think, again, it was really fun. It was funny. I think it really depends on the people that you're with and the audience members that you're with at the time, because they were very vocal and very active at our theater, and so it made it a lot more fun. But I think, I don't know, sometimes it's just nice to watch something where you can turn your brain off and have fun, especially with everything going on in the world. Sometimes you just need a break to laugh at bad horror movies, and I think that's another reason why it was so refreshing to me. Yeah, it just reminded me of the movies I'd watch on the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't even know if people remember the Sci-Fi Channel back when cable was still a thing. But yeah, you know, one of those crappy sci-fi movies like Sharknado. It was good, but it wasn't crappy. It was, I can see that there was effort put into it, but it was also, you know, didn't take itself too seriously. So I recommend watching it if you need something to just to have fun, not watch something so serious, not watch something that's talking about everything that's going on, to just kind of turn your brain off and get a little rest. I think it's a good movie. And yeah, I guess that's all my thoughts. If you like this review, then you can go watch my other reviews. Well, I only have one other one. And then, yeah, that's it. I hope all is well, and bye.